Hello everyone, Dr. Bortolotti here. I'm going to walk you through what to expect with the argument essay assignment. I only have 15 minutes to create these tutorial videos, so if I speak too quickly, you can catch up to me in class or simply just rewatch the video. The first thing I want you to notice is that the outline is the first page of the assignment. And you'll also notice that I am using colors to indicate to you the different sections of the outline. Plus, this color coding will directly correspond to the paragraphs in the essay. So I strongly encourage you to compose your essay using colors. It really helps you figure out the organization, and it really helps you to stay parallel to the outline. And by parallel, I mean that your essay goes in this order: red, blue, green. Okay, so what is the difference between an argument essay and a persuasive essay? In a persuasive essay, you defended one side of a question. In the argument essay, you have to mention the opposition's side, and you have to attack the opposition with logic and reason, and that's how you win the argument. So this is a little bit different than the persuasive essay in that you have to research in depth what the opposition states. The best way to win an argument is to know what the other side says and be ready to attack what it says. The first thing we all will start with is a yes or no question, and the topic is going to be up to you. Please make sure it is a topic that you will be able to find plenty of source material on for both the pro side and the con side, for both your side and your opposition. A yes or no question. Your thesis then is simply your side of that yes or no question. Okay? You have to divide your topic into 3 subtopics, and these will become your main arguments. These subtopics will become the focal point of your subtopic paragraphs. I strongly encourage you to phrase your subtopic in the form of a question. It really makes it easy for you then to talk about what your opposition side says and talk about your rebuttal. Rebuttal simply means you answer what the opposition says and bring up your supporting material. This essay is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 paragraphs long. The number of pages it usually takes to write an argument essay is somewhere between, say, 3 and 4 pages, double-spaced, not including the outline and your source pages. Okay, before I move on to the next page, please remember that I have some supplementary notes here that give you more information. Moving on down then to the essay itself. Use your introduction paragraph as a tool to introduce any necessary background information to the question. Any background information necessary for the reader to understand why this is even an issue. You don't want to waste time in your essay talking about background information. Okay, save the essay itself for the main arguments. So treat the introduction as one big attention getter in which you supply any background information, state the question, state your stance. And your stance, otherwise known as the thesis, must appear in the introduction. Probably the best place to put it is the last sentence. That way, it is fresh in the minds of your reader before he goes on to your arguments. Okay? This sentence right here is your first subtopic sentence. Notice it is red because it corresponds to this. Your first subtopic is amateur standing. Is amateur standing being compromised if you pay Olympic athletes? Coming down to the essay, the first argument in this debate asks if sacrificing an athlete's amateur standing compromises the Olympic ideal. Then, keep that red. That's your subtopic. That's your subtopic sentence. Go on to the opposition side. Okay? Discuss what the opposition says about this subtopic. Remember, you have to have an opposition source. This particular citation shows you one way to cite an in-text citation for a direct quote. When you move on to your rebuttal, start with the transition and then argue your case, focusing on the logic of your side, the illogic of the other side, the emotional appeal on your side, as opposed to the emotional lack of emotion on the other side, and most importantly, the ethos in question, that it's the right thing to do. But also remember that ethos means the legitimate sources, the credible sources that back your stance. Then once you get done with that, the pattern repeats. Go on to your next subtopic, using a transition, discuss the opposition, discuss your stance, your rebuttal. Notice the transition to the second subtopic. Notice the transition when you go into your rebuttal. And then the pattern continues. Take a look at this citation here. This is a citation for a print source. Notice the page number. Okay, moving on down here. This is an example of a block quote. The MLA says, whenever you have a direct quote that is longer than 4 lines typed, you tab the quote over 2 times. Don't use quotation marks. And the citation goes here. Notice the punctuation mark. The period goes there. That's the only time that the period in an MLA citation does not go after the parentheses. Okay, moving on back up. I want to point this out. This right here. This is a footnote. The MLA wants you to use footnotes when you simply want to offer the reader explanatory or definitions, explanatory material or definitions, or something for further reading. And you don't want to use a lot of your space in the essay to do so. So the MLA encourages you to use footnotes instead. And this particular footnote gives where to read more information about the Olympic Code. You can go to the IOC.com if you want to read more about the Olympic Code. Now, the reason why I point that out is because when you come down to your source pages, remember this page, the works cited page. is the list of sources that you actually quoted from in the essay. It is the list of sources that you quoted from in the essay and that you gave credit to in the essay. The works consulted page would be sources that you used for reference material, including anything that you used in footnotes. And here is that website about the Olympic Committee. Okay. One way to help you stay organized is paste the sources that you had in your lit review, provided you're still using those sources. Just copy them from the works cited page in your lit review and paste them here. You can always add or subtract your sources from the works cited page. All right, any questions? You could just catch up to me in class. All right, sounds good.